Okay, so let's start up with my mustard greens. Now these mustard greens here are probably going to be my favorite ones, simply because all of these kale plants here were free. These were volunteer plants that I dug up and replanted, scattered them around my side garden. And I know, and you know, I absolutely love free food. So I have at least 7 or 8 of these replanted and have a bunch more left. And these might seem like they're planted kind of close, but I don't mind because they're going to fill up the space and I'm going to make sure I feed them well. So there shouldn't be a problem with them fighting for nutrition. I'm going to make sure I feed them well because they're going to feed me well. And I know this is a fall garden tour, but you can't forget about some stuff we have left over from the summer. These are some sweet banana peppers. Look at that baby there. Look at all of these hanging off of this plant. So no, I haven't pulled this plant up yet. I will, because eventually this here is going to need more space. But I think for now, we'll see. I may go and pull it up because I have some more mustard greens that I want to plant here and along here. Speaking of summer garden, this is what's left of my cucumbers. So these are definitely coming up, not my cucumbers, my okra. They produce well, and they're got about 5 feet tall and produce very well, but it's time for them to go because I have another spot here and here I can put more stuff. I'm filling my garden up. I'm going to completely fill it up as best I can. Now over here, these are some red mustard greens. Yeah, I almost forgot about them. These are red mustard greens here. So I have about 7 or 8 of those here scattered around my side garden. More kale, another okra plant that has to go. And as you can see, a bunch more banana pepper plants. These are sweet banana peppers. I have about 10, maybe a few more than that on here. And what's amazing is, even though we had some 30-degree temperatures last week at night, I still have plenty of buds on these, plenty of flowers. So I really do have to decide if I'm gonna let these peppers produce or just going to harvest what I can and start putting in more of my fall vegetables. Here's some more of my volunteer mustard green plants. Red mustard greens. Now here's some more of my mustard green plants, volunteer plants. So I'm going to be moving these soon and spread them around the garden. I want to wait for them to get big enough so they wouldn't have to suffer as much. Because when I moved the other ones, they were pretty big and they went through a bad shock. They went flat. I lost a bunch of leaves, but the plants have bounced back. But I do believe I have some type of, see that? That's looks like some type of fungus or something on it. So I'm going to figure that out and take care of it. Next up, more of those red mustard greens. And these are my lacinato kale plants, better known as dinosaur kale. I have about 6 of these, 5 or 6 of these back here. There's another one there. And of course, another pepper plant. This one's coming out today. I may see a few buds on it, but, well, we'll see. We shall see. But look at these peppers though. That's why I don't want to just take the plants out. Look at that. Still good sized peppers. Beautiful. And if I leave them long enough, they will turn red and it's still producing, even though that one's not big. But look at this one here. These things are still growing, so it's kind of one of those things. I hate to give up on the summer garden, especially when it's producing, but I have so many mustard green plants that I might need to sacrifice this plant, or I might need to go on and overwinter it. So we'll see. If I overwinter it, I will put a video out for it to show you how to save your pepper plants for a second season. Oh well, no reason for me to go on and delay these. These guys need to come off. I guess it doesn't matter how how harsh I am on them. Because yeah, this plant's going to have to go. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. I may dehydrate these. I may can them, slice them up, can them, and use those for sandwiches. Like I said, this guy has to go, but I'm going to get plenty of use out of this because look at those roots. Yeah, so I'm going to get plenty of good use out of this because it's going to go into my compost bin. So that's it for my okra plants. If I do decide to overwinter my pepper plants, I was going to take some of these branches off anyway. Most of them off, so no need to be too gentle with it. Yeah, I'm gonna take the branches off. Even with these small peppers here, you think, even though it's not ripe, it's still edible. You still get flavor of it. You still get some value from it. Quick pepper harvest, and I have more in back. Once again, I gotta tell you, even though this is a fall garden tour, I still got some summer stuff out here too. I'm probably gonna be removing these plants in the next few days, but when you have this much food on your plants, do you really just want to toss them out? So I have 2 jalapeno plants. I think I've already taken everything off of this one here. So this one definitely has to come up today. The other one here still has plenty of them. I have more pepper plants over here. Not fully loaded, but look. If I had taken these plants out a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't have this. Or this over here from these plants. So do what you want to do in your garden. Well, I live in zone 8A, so I still have plenty of, or at least some summer stuff left. This plant here only has a couple small ones, so definitely coming out today. But look, that's not so tiny. So that's why I haven't taken them up. This jalapeno, not jalapeno, this cayenne pepper plant here, I've gotten tons of peppers from this. Still has plenty of them on there. Look at that. Look at that. Do you just toss this plant out? If I toss it out, I wouldn't have had all this. But I am probably going to go on and pull it because I have more peppers than I need. I'm going to be able to freeze them. So let's go on and take a look at what's going on in the fall garden. The true fall garden. These plants here are all volunteer collard green plants. Yeah, I had short out earlier this year showing some of my volunteer plants. Yeah, about 8 of those. I had more, but I think I accidentally dug one of them up when I was cleaning out weeds. No big deal though. free food. Let me slide over here to the beginning of my garden. I have lettuce. This area is kind of shady, but a lot of time your lettuce will tend to bolt. So I kept it over here. This one here is, forget about my handwriting, Tango leaf lettuce. 7, 8 of those. Those were from seed. Yeah, if you get them out early enough, you can grow the stuff from seed. Also have these here, which, if I remember correctly, these should be just, actually, I'm not sure. I know if it's some type of loose leaf lettuce, but hey, it's lettuce. That's the main thing. I have plenty of other little seedlings out here. This, for instance, is a cheddar cauliflower. Yeah, cauliflower can be grown and be kind of an orange color. There's also purple, and of course, you know, the white. And that corner over here, I have some more cheddar cauliflower. And here is my, I believe this is cabbage. Just regular cabbage. Yes, it is cabbage. I see my label. Just some, these weren't from seeds. These are from starch. Bonnie's Best Cabbage. And next to it, I have some Bonnie's Best collard greens. That's why these guys are actually one of the biggest plants I have in the garden. These collard greens I got from the store. And next up, this is probably the thing that I'm most excited about. I purchased this Vivor raised bed garden off of at Home Depot online. I bought it on sale. I didn't realize how good of a sale I had. I mean, I knew how much it cost. I realized it was a great deal. But after I put this in, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I liked this so much, I want to buy another one. Now, I bought it for 42 bucks. It's 6 feet long, 3 feet across, a foot high. And it's packed with carrots. I have two types of carrots, long carrots here, short carrots here. I have beets, and these beets should be producing and ready within, they say 60 days. I'm going to give it as long as I can. I also have some onions that I replanted. Now these onions here are just some random onions I had that I had planted, but they didn't get big enough. So like, you know what the heck? I'm going to replant them and see what happens. And well, I'm getting the growth on top. I'm not sure about the growth underneath, but I'm going to leave this bed here. And I'm definitely not going to harvest the carrots until early or late winter. So maybe February. I'm going to leave them here as long as I can. And the beets, I'm probably going to pull the beets up before Christmas. We'll see. I'll probably take 1 or 2 out just to see how big they are, and then I'll go from there and decide how long I'm going to leave them in here. Before I forget, there's one other thing out here in the main garden I'm really excited about, and it's new. You might have seen it in previous videos. This is my quail hutch. Still working on it. All I have to do is put in the doors here and here, and under here. Now I already have the gating here, but underneath here I'm going to put a board from here to here, and I'm going to use this as a place where the quail can do sand baths, I think they call it. And also from here to here, it's going to be completely closed off so they can get out of the elements. So quail are coming soon. And no, this tomato plant isn't supposed to be looking great. I left it until the end along with this one here. But what I'm going to do, and I'm still getting tomatoes off of here, but I'm going to remove it because eventually I need my other plants to start growing up here, but I am going to get some seeds. These little guys here, the ones that fell on the ground too, I'm going to get myself plenty of seeds from that. And if that gets red, I'll get seeds from that. I'll get seeds from these guys here. Now you might look at this and think, why does he have a cup halfway buried in the ground? Well, these are some of my last seeds that I planted out. So what I did is I dug a hole, cut the bottom out the cup here, dug a hole, watered them, covered them like so. That way it almost acted like a seed starting tray. And once they get big enough, I uncovered them and they're good to go. I have several cabbage plants like that. I think those were the green cabbages I just showed you. More cabbage here. These are purple cabbage. Obviously, I'm going to need to remove a bunch of these, but that's fine. I always put in extra seeds because seeds are cheap, and I can always take out the smallest ones. So only a few more things to show you. I do have my Meyer lemons. I also have some goji berries, my persimmons, and I have my greenhouse. Not much going on in the greenhouse right now, but I figure I can show you a few things. Now this is my goji berry bush. I bought this early spring, and surprisingly they did bloom. And I know these berries are supposed to get bigger than this, but this is first year, and honestly I probably should have taken the blooms off. But when they bloomed, it was so late in the year, I was just surprised they did. I want to see what they did. Yeah, there's plenty of them on here. I think I just need to learn more about this bush so I can hopefully get bigger berries and hopefully even more. But for a first year berry bush, I'm pretty happy with that. And this is my first time trying to grow Meyer lemons. They aren't big, at least not this year, but I'm just glad that I have some on this tree. I probably should have removed the blooms and just let it concentrate on growing bigger, but what the heck, I get lemons. I'm happy about it. And next year, hopefully, if I can get this plant going the way I really want it to go, these can be great producers. But right now, some small lemons, but I'm okay with that. Some success is better than a complete failure. So I'm pretty happy. I've already harvested one off of here earlier. So I only had 7 on here, but it's nice to see, hey, I got food. Hey folks, thanks for coming along. And since you have come along this far, do me a favor, share this video out to your family and friends. And if you enjoyed my content and you want to follow along with what's happening in the garden, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification button. That way you'll be here next time I have something going on in the garden. But let's get back to this tree. Now this is my Fuyu persimmon tree. It has well over 100 persimmons on it. I've already harvested, I shouldn't have pulled it off. Usually I twist them, but I've already harvested probably about 50, maybe 60, I don't know. I've just been harvesting here and there. Couple things about this tree. First, I'm getting weird shaped fruit. I don't know what's going on with it this year. Not all the fruit looks like that, but they're still tasty, so I'm not overly concerned about it. However, my biggest concern has been this. You may wonder why the ladder's there. That branch was hanging so far down, it was on the ground. I don't want ants and stuff to get on it and start eating fruit. First time I've ever had any pest pressure on this tree. I know some people say they have squirrels and what have you, but I don't really worry about that because I have dogs. And apparently one of the dogs does like persimmons. But don't let them eat too many. But my biggest concern with this tree has been Well, a little bit of pest pressure. I've seen some wasps eating fruit. Yeah, and I sowed this earlier this year. This branch broke. Yeah, it just came out one day and it was just hanging down. So I put this pallet here under the branch to kind of hold it. And of course, when it broke, this was a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. When it broke, it still had all this fruit on it. And I didn't know if the branch was just going to die and the fruit would just drop off. But fortunately, and this is a lot of fruit to lose, fortunately, the branch didn't die off and the fruit is thriving. Let's see how this one looks. Doesn't look weird. Doesn't look weird at all. Just some of them have the weird look to it, others don't. Look at that guy. That's a good sized persimmon. I have big old paws. So actually it's forming a little bit of a nip there. Weird. But like I said, they still taste great. It's not a new variety. I've seen other people that have had them. No one's given me an explanation as to why. But it is what it is. I still have plenty of fruit. And yeah, I'll still be harvesting this late November, maybe even into December. Now these persimmon are one of my favorite variety of fruit, partially because they taste fantastic, but also because they're one of my last fruit that I have that produces at the end of the year. So I know there are other fruit that still will produce, such as lemons, different oranges. I have to find out what might work here, but I'm actually looking for a second variety of persimmon tree. And it's funny because I went out looking. Probably shouldn't have done it, but I was out at a kind of a park, kind of a walking trail, and I went out specifically looking for wild persimmons. You know, it's kind of a random thing to do, but I was like, you know what? I saw one when I was at another park earlier this year. I was like, you know what? Maybe there's a wild persimmon somewhere. Let me go take a look. So I walked around, and within 10 minutes, I found a wild persimmon tree. So, dilemma. Someone was telling me I shouldn't take a cutting, but this land is your land. This land is my land. Anyway, so I might give myself a cutting or two and do what I can to protect the tree and not harm it. But I might get a cutting or two to get a second variety of wild persimmon. I did have some, well, the persimmon tree did have some very small persimmons on it. I tasted one. It didn't taste like it was astringent. And you know, with the stringent persimmons, they have to be really soft and mushy. And this one wasn't, and it didn't taste like it was astringent. So it might be just another variety that I don't know about. So we'll see. I'll let you know. I may not tell you if I did the cutting or not, though. So in the greenhouse, I know I mentioned how I did my cabbage seedlings. I also did some lettuce like that. I am obviously going to take this off, but I was kind of doing an experiment just to see how it worked. And it works. Very happy about that. I have some what I think I still have what I think is mint. Yeah. So I still have some leftover herbs left. I have some mint here. And that's really about it for herbs. I did dry some. What did I dry? I drew something. So I don't have a lot going on in the greenhouse right now. I do have some lettuce. Different lettuce I grew from seed. It's gotten so warm that I think these guys looks like they're about to bolt. So some of them haven't. but we'll see. We'll have to see about this. This is the that other lettuce I showed you in the garden. So we'll see. Hopefully these won't. Oh, black diamond, black diamond seeded Simpson lettuce. So, and other romaine lettuce, I believe this is, all grown from seed, but it's 84 degrees here. So these might bolt, but I'll harvest the leaves and replant. So I went on and pulled up the rest of my pepper plants and harvested what I had left. So let's get out there and get a little dirty.